If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. Now, coming from a hood perspective, right? One of the things, as far as like gang banging and just living that criminal life, one of the things that I'm talking about, we all can agree on that live that life, or those of you who are still in that life. If you get jammed up, don't mention my name. In other words, if you get caught by the police and you're sitting inside of a police station for whatever reason, robbery, murder, kidnapping, burglary, whatever, don't mention my name. They don't get me, they get you. Do not mention my name. Why? Because once you mention my name, now the police antennas is like, hey, who is this person? Why did you say his name? What does he or she have to do with the crimes that you are locked up for? Etc., etc., etc. So one of the things in the criminal world is if you get jammed up, if you get caught by the police, if you're under investigation, don't mention my name. And in this case right here, as far as the YSL RICO, Durk OTF label was mentioned. Not as a record label, but also as a gang that was investigated by Atlanta. Now, this is not the only time that Durk or his record label or his so-called gang was brought up being involved in criminal activity. We got the RICO case that just passed, or just the old Block 6. Them young brothers that just got found guilty for killing FBG Duck. Rest in peace to that brother. His name was brought up multiple times during that case. So here it is, we have 2 RICO cases. This is major. We have a federal RICO and we have a state RICO where Lil Durk name was brought up, his record label, and his so-called, or the OTF, the gang, right? And here it is, after all this, Lil Durk has the nerve to post. And in this post on Instagram, he lets the world know that, hey, I got real niggas behind me. Pardon my language, y'all. I gotta give it, the way that he giving it to us. I got real niggas behind me. I got the streets. This is what Durk's saying. I got the streets. While y'all got likes, followers, and subscribers, or something like that. As a matter of fact, check it out. So now, us from the hood, when you hear somebody say, I got real niggas behind me, or just mention the word real niggas, period, we automatically associate real niggas. Y'all, and listen, pardon me, right? I gotta speak this way so that people can understand. If you're not African American and you feel offended by me using the word nigga, allow me to apologize in advance. If you are African American, black, whatever you calling yourself, and you offended by the word nigga, let me apologize in advance. But I gotta use it because this is what Durk said, right? Now, when we hear the words, us from the hood, when we hear real nigga, right? Automatically we assume and we speculate and we think in our minds that this person right here is a part of criminal activity. This person right here would not tell if he get caught up in the jam. This person right here is a killer. He'll shoot that, he'll pop something. This person right here is about everything that the street has to offer. killing, willing, dealing, just everything, right? That's a real nigga. He ain't gonna tell, he ain't gonna break, he ain't gonna fold under no pressure. He's what we call a real nigga. And so when Durk say he got real niggas behind him, we only can assume that's what we talking about. So when we hear that, we understand what somebody's talking about. And everybody from the streets, when you hear, hey, he a real nigga, we understand. And so here it is. On IG, on a federal platform, he's still throwing it out there. I got real niggas behind me. I got the streets. Y'all got followers and likes and stuff like that. I'm for real with this. And when he say y'all got followers and likes, the only thing that I can think about in my mind is that he is speaking to these other so-called rappers. Hey, y'all on Instagram playing, dog. You know, y'all got people liking and following and subscribers and all that. Nah, Look, I'm in the streets for real. You see what I'm saying? And it could be a jab at, the King Yellers, the FBG Butters, the FYBJ Mains and them. You know what I'm saying? Because those are considered his, I guess, ops. And, they're doing YouTube now. So it could be a jab at them. It could be a double-edged sword, right? But this is my thing right here. We have people all across America. Brothers, sisters. I'm talking about that wear this real nigga like a badge of honor. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm a real nigga. It's like a cape you put on and everybody just be like, that's a real nigga. Like we wear it like a badge of honor. But the cold-blooded part about being a real nigga is that these so-called people that are considered to be real niggas, they really don't want to be that. What you saying, hood educated? You just said they wear it with a badge of honor and all that. Allow me to elaborate. Real niggas understand that they can die, get shot, killed. They really don't want that. Real niggas understand that they can end up going to jail for a long time or even for the rest of their life. They really don't want that. Real niggas know that they gotta make split decisions every day of their life in order to preserve their life. They really don't want that. Real niggas understand that they have to be paranoid, schizophrenic out their mind in order to survive the streets. You have to be nervous, anxious, anxiety to preserve your life. You gotta watch your back. You gotta suspect everybody. You can't trust no one. This is a 24-hour job every day, 365 days a year. They really don't want that. But they are compelled to live that life. Why? Because they got caught up. They got caught up in that cycle. And once you caught up in that cycle, it's hard to get up out of it. You see, these so-called real niggas, they get caught up in that cycle and they really start to believe that this is what life is about. This is my life. Not only that, they start making up excuses. If God didn't want me to be this way, he would have, chose a different path for me. They try to make sense of the bullshit ass life that they're living because they really don't want that. Believe me, real niggas or so-called real niggas would rather live a square life, would rather live a righteous life. Let me say that. A righteous life. They would rather live that type of life than the life filled with misery, pain, and death. And allow me to say this right here. Let me prove it to you. Real niggas turn into, I'm talking about civilians, quick, in front of the police. Have you ever seen a killer? I'm talking about, this boy done knocked down 4, 5 men and would shoot at the drop of a dime and put his gun on his hip like he put his drawers on every morning. And when he get pulled over by the police, have you ever seen how he just become very articulate with his words? How you doing, officer? Oh, just, finna take my kids to the store. Yeah. Oh, license and insurance? Sure. There you go, officer. No. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I was, I had some things on my mind, so I admit I was driving kind of fast. This the killer talking to the police this way. He a civilian now all of a sudden. Sir, can you step out the car? Sure, no problem. Are you being obedient? You taking instructions? Sir, can you put your hands behind your back? Yeah. But what's going on? What happened to all that killer stuff? The real nigga stuff. Then when you put him in front of a judge, yes ma'am, no ma'am. The man don't even talk like that to his mama or his father. But to that judge, yes sir. No ma'am. Yeah. And then when they lay that sentence down, oh, very articulate. He know how to write letters, and he got a letter for the judge. He want to stand up and read. Hey, Your Honor, I grew up in a bad environment. I'm sorry about the things that I did. He want leniency now. Oh, you's a real nigga. You come on, you's a gangster. Calm down. You don't need no leniency. You a gangster now. Come on. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see how they change? The conditions change. If you are something that is real, you don't change. You stand down. For those of you who got them real diamonds and necklaces and that gold and platinum and all that, you can throw that stuff in all type of stuff. It don't change. It's real. It's authentic. Things that are fake, they change all the time. Different colors, put rashes on your body, all type of stuff. Friends, family, relationships. If it's fake, it's going to continue to change. If it's real, it's going to remain the same. Fake stuff change all the time. Why? Because fake stuff change when the conditions change. Whatever conditions it is, that's when the fake they're going to accommodate their surroundings. I'm talking about, you can bet your bottom dollar on that. So here it is. What I'm trying to show y'all is that Durk, them real niggas that you talking about, you got behind you, is compelled to be that way. And if that force come, that FBI force or that state police force come, let's see how real niggas is then. Because a lot of guys ain't never been tested. They ain't battle tested. Yeah, you probably done knocked a few guys down, shot some people, got shot at and all type of stuff. But have you ever been sitting across from somebody talking about, we finna give you life in the penitentiary. You will never see your children again. You're gonna die in a cell. Who is that? Yeah, all that real stuff go out the window then. They start crying, man. Come on, man. No, you a gangster. Who is that right there? That's Lil Durk. What'd he do? He the one that told us. Come on, man. While you up here talking about while Lil Durk, you up here talking about you got real niggas behind you, and you got the streets and all this old type of stuff. Let me tell you, young brother, something real quick. And I believe that this is a major thing that goes on across communities all across America. Poverty-stricken communities, right? In our communities, the honor and shame is being misplaced. And I know y'all probably saying, hood educated, what is you talking about? I'm coming up out the circle 7 on y'all, right? The honor and the shame is being misplaced. In the hoods all across America, if you are a good criminal, gang banger, drug dealer, pimp, swiper, booster. If you are good at doing something that is bad, in the hood, we honor you. We put you on a pedestal. He beat a couple murders. Man, he up there. He the big drug dealer in the whole community. Man, he up there. These people are looked at as superstars. Superstars. Ghetto superstars. Now, that right there should be shameful. That's why I say the honor and the shame is misplaced. For people that create misery and destroy their communities, we should be looking at them like, man, whose children are those? Like, man, somebody need to correct their kids. Their kids is going the wrong way. So instead of shaming them, we honor the criminal. But then here it is, we got the brother who we call a square, working a job, taking care of his business. He a lame. Tell my man, dude a lame. Dude ain't with it. He ain't killed nothing. He ain't sold nothing. He ain't hurt nothing. He ain't gonna let nothing die. That's what we used to say back in the day. Who, dude? He ain't finna kill nothing. He ain't gonna let nothing die. That's a cold saying. He ain't gonna kill nothing. He ain't even gonna let nothing die. Like, if somebody dying, he gonna be trying to save him. Like, the shame and honor is misplaced. Where it should be honorable for people to go to school, to get an education, learn a trade, go to college. In the ghettos across America, in the hood. Man, them lames, man. We ain't studying no stuff. They square, bro. We ain't, But let you kill something. Let you sell a key of cocaine or heroin or something like that. Let you have a good dope spot. Oh yeah, no. We putting you up there. You on the pedestal. And when I read Durk comment, when he got to talking about he got real niggas behind him and he got the streets with him and these other guys, they only got likes and subscribers and stuff like that, it made me think about that. It made me think about, Durk, you are trying to put criminals, real niggas, and saying that you got the streets on a pedestal. Like, that's a good thing. But then you want to shame the ones that are doing something legit. They getting their money by YouTube or even Instagram. That's a shame. You look down on that, but look up to what I'm talking about. And the cold-blooded part for all you young brothers that looked at that comment and was like, yeah, man, Durk, let me tell you something. Durk ain't been in the streets probably since 2009, 10, or somewhere around there. He ain't been in those streets. His kids, his children, the little boys and girls that he got, look, listen, they are not growing up in the streets. They going to them nice, expensive schools. Okay? Yeah, they doing everything right. They ain't going killing nobody. They ain't stabbing nobody. They ain't doing nothing. Do you understand? They are not doing nothing illegal. But you, oh yeah, go ahead. You ain't his children. You ain't his child. You can do all the legal stuff you want. But his kids, nah. Let them do something bad. He gonna be on top of him. But boy, you don't do that. I bet you his kids ain't going on no drills or trying to drill none or trying to kill none. But y'all, yeah, look up to what I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all can go do all that. While my kids go to the nice prestigious schools and live, I'm talking about a righteous life, a good life. You see what I'm saying? The honor and the shame is misplaced. So when you see people say stuff like that and you know that they are not in the field for real, then you got to look and say, okay, this is an act. This is a character. This is not real. He just performing right now for us. Just like all the so-called real niggas that's around him. All they are doing is performing a character that they don't even want to be. They performing this character of a real nigga because they compelled to. They stuck in their environment and they caught up in that cycle and they gotta perform these duties to save their life. Now, instead of you having real niggas behind you, Durk, why don't you pull some of them brothers up? Take them away from them environments. Instead of taking them on the road with you and do all your shows and y'all come out deep, and then after the show, you send them right back to the ghettos. Then they get killed and stuff like that, and then you got to pay for their funeral and all that. Take them with you. Establish something for them to make some legit money so they can take their families out the ghetto and so that they can get out the ghetto so that they can save their life. You get it like that. Do that. Because, I mean, like, let's be real here. To all my so-called real niggas, what's real about dying for a gang? What's real about that? And after you die, the gang gonna forget about you because other people gonna die and they gonna forget about them too. What's real about that? What's real about spending the rest of your life in the penitentiary? Or a mass majority of your life in the penitentiary? What's real about that? What's real about shooting and killing other people? That's real. What's real about that? Y'all, I'm talking about, y'all think that that's honorable? No, you don't. Your soul don't. Your spirit don't. But you feel that you compelled to live this type of life. Allow me to say this right here. You ain't got to. I know it's going to be hard to change and all that old type of stuff. Change is hard. I understand that. But if you want to stop living the life that you living, if you want to get up out that cycle, then you got to get up out that cycle. You got to change your environment. That's the first step. You got to change your environment. And once you change your environment, you got to change your friends. Yeah. All those guys that you was ganging with, kicking it with and all that, I'm not telling you to disrespect nobody or to diss nobody, but you, look, y'all, look, hey, we cool, but I'm way over here away from y'all. No, I don't want to go kick it with y'all at the club. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to gather with y'all, for the gang bang holidays and all that type of stuff. I don't want to do none of that. You got to change everything. You even got to change your vocabulary. But that's what you got to do if you really want to preserve your life and you want to get up out of all that misery and pain and death, all that darkness. You got to change. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary if you want to live. This is Hood Educated, not Lane Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.